Hey everybody, so welcome to Hometown History. This is our short episode on the Penn Street graffiti wall, the art bridge.
Yeah.
So I'm Domi.
I'm Jamie.
And we're going to have a full episode about Penn Street on the 20th, which is tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the Penn Market. But this is just our short teaser episode, so we're going to give you a little information on the bridge.
Yeah. So what started out as a problem in 2020 was this graffiti that was spray painted on the side of the York County Judicial Center. This cost resources and times to fix. It also served as evidence that there was a lack of order and respect for public buildings. Thankfully, vandalism like this doesn't commonly happen because people generally, I feel like, have respect for the York community.
Right.
But interestingly, a place like this, there is a place in York that welcomes the hissing of spray cans, and that is along Penn Street. So here is a map. Penn Street is right here, and we are right above Gay Avenue. That is where the art bridge is.
Right. So what started as an unsanctioned artwork or even vandalism, which a lot of people think graffiti is now a public art gallery. So you can check out these cool pictures that we have. Here's one that gives a shout out to soon-to-be graduates of 2020, and it highlights the importance, I think, of education. So imagine if you're a high school student and you see that, and it's going to motivate you to finish school, get your picture with your cap and gown in front of it. And then we have another picture that celebrates Mother's Day. So shout out to all the moms out there.
Here's another one of messages of hope. We are in this together. I like when they have images available for people to interact with.
I love that one.
So here's a kid that's standing on the wall and he looks like he's surfing. But they also do more serious topics. Like when Kobe passed, they made a tribute, like a memorial for him and his daughter.
Right, that's beautiful.
It really is serious artwork. So there are lots of different artists that go down here to the art bridge, but one of the main contributors is known as a York Bomb Squad. You can see their initials YBS around town. This picture I especially like because it shows you a close-up of the Christmas tree in the background. And if you look at all the depth of the colors that they used and even the Christmas ornaments, the like glow.
Right.
And even the needles.
Yeah, I think when people think of graffiti, a lot of time they think of just tagging things, but this is some serious artwork.
Yeah. And talk about serious stuff. Sometimes they go into serious topics, like when we have the Black Lives Matter protests.
Right.
This isn't at the art bridge, it's a different location, but the Bomb Squad tackles serious issues and does a lot of promotion for like social justice.
Right. No, and that's amazing. So the Penn Street Art Bridge is an extremely organized group, and you can visit their website to see more examples of the art, and it's become almost like a scrapbook for York or like your daily newspaper. Unlike the galleries that operate inside, you're tucked away, you have to go inside. These are really accessible for people, and both the creators and the audience. It's an example of empowering a community to use their voice. It's probably not what our founding fathers thought of when they focused on building a democracy, but it does serve as a place to exercise our First Amendment rights.
Yeah, freedom of speech,
Right.
using our voice. The York Countyans are not the only person who used their voice on the streets. Another huge historical figure is Malcolm X. So Malcolm X is known to go on the sidewalks, and there is where he would stand on his metaphorical soapbox, and people would listen to him, and they would share ideas. And so the Penn Street Art Bridge has become this place, but also this idea of spreading information. Sometimes, like Domi said, like the morning newspaper, like what's important to the community at that time period.
Right.
So today, this is kind of like a text, in my mind, a text-based communication that's owned by everyone, yet it's owned by no one.
Right,
Kinda
anyone can add their artwork,
Yep.
really.
It kind of breaks the rules of this like public property. Like I like it.
No, and it's awesome. And, you know, speaking of anyone can use it, a lot of the times the artists are bringing their own supplies, their own paint, but sometimes it is donated, like the mural that was there over Christmas. The bridge has become a form of urban communication that developed its own networks of exchange, and we can feel the energy in motion when we ascend the bridge together. In fact, that energy is so persistent that the artwork is constantly changing, and to the point that it's kind of a one-of-a-kind mural that's there.
One of a kind all the time.
And it can be covered up by the next person, and it's designed to be that way.
Designed to be replaced, ever changing.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you want to keep going and revisiting and seeing like what's there today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like almost every week, if not every day, you can go there and see a new piece of artwork put up.
Yeah. So the bridge dates back, the pedestrian bridge, to the 1990s. It replaced a span that was used for motorists that carried the North Penn Street over the old Western Maryland Railroad tracks. Here is a photograph of workers who were raising the bridge to allow a train go underneath it. It was carrying a large piece of equipment. Contemporary graffiti dates back to the 1960s when the aerosol spray can was first invented and is said to have arisen from the Black and Latino population in New York City alongside hip-hop music. The Penn Street Art Bridge captured the attention also of a Wall Street journalist named Neil King when he was in town. He wrote a book called The American Ramble, and here is him taking an image of the Penn Street Bridge. Domi and I interviewed Neil, and you can watch that interview on YouTube.
Penn Street made it to the big times.
Yeah.
I love it. No, and that's amazing. And there's 2 rules that you have to follow when you go to the bridge. So you take a picture of the work before you cover it up with your work. And the space is ever changing. So, literally every time someone does something, they're covering up the old work. And then you have to post the picture and tag it with hashtag Penn Street Bridge. So it's adding to the online gallery. That way it's accessible and people can see what the past artwork has been. And then second, be cool.
Yeah,
which
I
really
love that.
like. So people live there. There's kids and there's families around, and they're walking by it every day. So what you put up, it has an impact on everybody in the community. Yeah. So you have to understand that your subject matter has to be appropriate to be viewed by kids and the public and the community. So you can cover controversial topics and heavy topics, but be respectful with what you're putting there.
Would you want your kid to see and walk past that every day?
Right. Yeah.
So Penn Street Bridge is not the only place for really cool graffiti happening in New York County. There's also the Ruins Park down in Glen Rock. And another place that I don't really think of very often as a place for graffiti is actually the Susquehanna River. Technically, graffiti is any writing, drawing that's scribbled, sprayed, or scratched into a public surface. So that means the petroglyphs technically are a form of graffiti. Though on the right, that's my hands. You can see the size of it. That dates back to Native Americans 1,000 years ago, but then the picture on the left, they're more contemporary graffiti artists from
those
the
darn
1800s.
kids in the 1800s
scratching their names into these rocks.
And here we thought it was only modern day kids that were out putting graffiti tags on
Darn them.
Even in the 1800s.
What started as this problem is now looked at as an asset on the river and Glen Rock, and most importantly in Penn Street.
Yeah, I mean, my coworkers and I are going to take a tour of the petroglyphs soon.
Cool.
And we were inspired by Neil King's book, so thank you for that, Neil King.
Oh, have fun.
Yeah, so we're going to go see ancient graffiti, and then maybe I can take them to Penn Street to see modern day graffiti.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to cover more of this topic and more of Penn Street tomorrow, the 20th at 6 o'clock at Penn Street Market. It's open to the public. Montez is going to be there.
Yeah.
We're going to interview him, and it's going to be a great discussion about the community, so please come out and see us.
Yep. And then we'll have another coming up in July 19th.
Yes.
That'll be episode 3.5, and that's at the Haynes Shoe House.
Yep. Can't wait to see you guys.
See ya.